James Bolin. I'm the Executive Director of the Cable Area Chamber of Commerce here in town, and so we work to bring events into the area, promote the businesses in the area, and basically promote the cable area as a premier travel destination. You know, cable is that small town Americana place that everybody wants to be. It's a place that I always say it's the small town that doesn't know it, because we host major events like the American Birkebeiner, the Schwaming Fat Tire Festival, huge international events that major cities would be clamoring over each other to get to host. Bayfield County is about 73% held in public trust. So there are no stoplights in the entire county, and there is a wealth of public land. So a lot of those lands have trail systems that run through them. And so this is the birthplace of the American Birkebeiner, which is the largest cross-country ski race in North America. It was the first of the World Loppet races to be created. The gentleman that started the American Birkebeiner also came up with the concept of the World Loppet Tour. And so it now has expanded into 20 countries and is a huge corporation of its own right. But every February, 20,000 skiers come here to ski the trail system from downtown Cable to downtown Hayward. We were fortunate that because of the trail systems that exist here, a company by the name of CXC, Central Cross Country Ski Association, which is an Olympic partner, was looking for a place that they could make their headquarters to train cross-country skiers and biathlon, both disabled and able-bodied athletes. And so they really chose us and said, this is where we think the USOC should really put its attention to growing the sport of cross-country skiing. And so we started working with them, trying to find them places for clinics and stuff like that. And because of their status within the USOC, they had the ability to bid to host a Paralympic World Cup. So we were successful in getting the bid in 2012 for hosting the Paralympic World Cup here. It was one of the first times the World Cup had ever been held in the United States, and obviously the first time we'd ever held it. And it was a huge success. The teams were blown away by how they were treated, by how well the competition went, by just how organized everything was. And so they actually put in a request for us to be the host of the World Championships, which we received the bid for that earlier this year. And so in 2015, we will be hosting the Paralympic World Championships here for about 2 weeks. Norvado actually played a very large role in all of those events. There's technology needs, internet services that are needed. I actually am the chief of the Corps de Lopet, so I know that part of my responsibility is anything outside of the building there. And so we have Norvado come in every year, and they hook up all of our DSL, our internet stuff, for both timing and then the ability to broadcast out results to the world who's really wanting to find out as soon as possible who won the events. And then when you're putting 12 to 20,000 skiers on the course, obviously you need to be concerned about medical issues, and so Norvado actually comes out and sets phone services up for us, and so that we have actual phone connections to hospitals and stuff in case we ever need them. And then for the World Championships and the World Cup, having that technology available is critical. Again, you're going to have press from all over the world, and so one of the first calls we made was to Norvado to see what we could get for connectivity at the venue, and then in talking with the teams, wanting to make sure that the athletes are having the best possible experience. They are, many of them, coming from Europe, and so they're looking for that connectivity to be able to talk to their family and friends. They want to post pictures, and so making sure that they have all of the all of the technology and services that they need for the 2 weeks while they're here actually plays one of the largest roles in whether or not they have a great experience and whether the event is a success. You know, that same services and technology need is huge in tourism. Clearly, cable is is driven by tourism, and so people are used to having connectivity for their work. It may be a requirement. They can't actually, not be reachable, and so for them to be able to come here, whether they have a second home here or they're here on vacation, they need that connectivity to be, connected back to work. So if they don't have it, they can't come here. So we never want to give people a reason to not choose to come to cable. And so for our businesses, having those services and technologies available is another piece of the draw to make sure that we're bringing people here. They may want to be off the grid while they're here for a while, but we want them to be able to choose that, not by force. Because there's a lot of trails and public land here, you have a lot of people that are out in the woods in rural and remote areas doing activities, and so when they get injured, having connectivity is critical, not only for them to be able to let people know. Several years ago, people would get out into the trails and would get hurt, and no one would know that they were injured until it got dark and they didn't come home. Now they actually have the ability to grab their phone and send a message that says I'm hurt, and then that can get relayed to medical services. We're actually able to get access to them a lot easier. We have an aging population, a lot of retirees, and they tend to have heart issues. So we have a level 1 trauma care ambulance service here, and they actually use connectivity to be able to send data from the ambulance to the hospital they're going to. The doctor can then see exactly what's going on in the heart of the patient or whatever the issue is, and they can actually receive care, get drugs and treatment in the ambulance before they even get to the hospital, because the doctors can see what's going on. And so, it impacts quality of life. It impacts the ability for businesses to bring tourists here. Obviously, from a promotional and marketing standpoint, you want them to be able to post. You want them to be able to check in on Facebook and all those things. And so it really is a key driver in the economy today, that connectivity, that information. A lot of people are using mobile devices to make their decisions. Where am I going to have lunch today? They'll actually hit their phone and see what's nearby. And so if that connectivity isn't there, then that local restaurant isn't getting picked up. And so, it's helping to drive customers in the door, it's helping to drive tourists here, it's helping to provide services to the people that live here.
My name is Andrea Pokshavinsky, and I'm a teacher for the Lower Kuskokwim School District in Bethel, Alaska. Yes, in 2007 I started teaching for LKSD, Lower Kuskokwim School District, and my job was to teach students who are in rural villages that are not accessible where all of LKSD is off the road system, and then the villages are only accessible by boat, plane, or snowmobile in the winter time. So they're very remote, and some of our schools are so small that they only have 1 or 2 high school teachers who have to teach everything. So those schools have the opportunity to enroll in my class, and I am a highly qualified science teacher, so they get a highly qualified high school science curriculum and experience through the video conference science class, and that goes right on their transcript. It's part of their local district curriculum. Correct. We recently moved from Alaska to northern Wisconsin. We live out in Grandview, well, about 8 miles from Grandview, a little further than that, in a very remote area, but we have fiber optics. So I made a proposal to our district to see if they would be interested in having me continue teaching my classes in Wisconsin by the internet, because when I was in Bethel, I was never in a classroom with students face to face. They always connected with me via distance learning, the video conferencing system. And so now we're going to extend another studio to Wisconsin, and I'll just join them from a further distance. Being able to access them every day in a live video format is very important. The students look forward to having live interaction in class, and it helps them with their lesson and focusing. It's a lot more personal and interactive than just an online course, and because we have a large fiber access or pipe at here, it's going to help me continue to do live video without any delay, and that's really important. It wouldn't be possible for me to continue teaching unless I had the bandwidth to carry a high quality video signal. It's great that I have access to high-speed fiber. I couldn't do this without access to high-speed fiber. It takes a beefy internet line to be able to have multiple connections to each of my students. Every class that we add to my science class requires additional bandwidth for each signal. And it's important that we don't have any delays, and we've really improved the technology, and it is still growing. So it's very important to me, and I'm very lucky to have moved into an area that has the kind of internet that will support that classroom. And I'm hoping that I can take advantage of my geography and connect my students in Alaska with different resources and experiences that I'm living with here in northern Wisconsin.